Hey guys, Steven here. Every man knows how important tools can be in getting the job done. And in today's video, I'm going to do a quick review of my favorite man tool of all time. That's the Leatherman Charge TTI multi-tool. And I'm going to give you the #1 reason why I think every man should buy one and carry it with them every day. Let's get started. So a couple summers back, I had some extra birthday money sitting around and I decided that I wanted to buy something manly and I wanted to buy something that I could use every day. So I jumped online and Googled top preppers gear, top survival gear, and I saw a pattern of guys recommending buying a multi-tool for everyday carry. So I decided, hey, up to that time I had only been using a pocket knife. Let's go ahead and upgrade to a multi-tool. So that's what I decided. I was gonna buy a multi-tool. But at the same time, I was watching some Wrangler Star videos and I had just seen John Neiman's Birth of a Tool video, and those really inspired me and influenced the way I think about buying tools, especially tools that you use every day, and the importance of spending more money on something if you're going to use it a lot. So I wanted to buy a tool that was of good build quality, a tool that I could use for a long time, a tool that made the work that I did enjoyable and it would help me be more productive, and also something that I could possibly pass down to my children in the future. So that's why I decided to buy a nicer multi-tool. And after doing all the reviews, looking at all the reviews online, doing research for quite a bit, I came down to the decision to buy a Leatherman Charge TTI. Without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the specs. All right, let's do a quick look at the 19 different tools within the Leatherman Charge TTI. This is the leather case that I got when I bought mine. There's also a nylon case as well. So this is the leather case. This is what mine looks like here, little Leatherman logo down here. It's got some stretch to it on the side here and belt loop. So this is the leather case. Let's open this thing up. All right, so this is the Leatherman Charge TTI, and let's do a quick overview of the 19 different tools inside. There are titanium grips here on the outside, these parts here, thus the name TTI for titanium. So overall, it's a very beautiful tool. Let's start looking at the 4 outer accessible tools, the outside accessible tools. This is when the tool is closed, you can access these 4 tools. The first tool I want to look at is my favorite, and it's the S30V blade. As you can see there, it's a beautiful, very sharp, well-made, heavy-duty blade, and it's locked in place by this here. So when I push down on that, just like that. Again, if I open it up, second, let's take a look at the serrated blade. This is also a nice, beautiful blade. As you can see, the serrated edge here. It's very, very sharp. This here is a cutting hook, and in the case like you were in your car and your car you drive out into a river or fall off a bridge and you need to get out and you had this thing on you, supposedly you could slide this against your body underneath the seatbelt and then pull, and the seatbelt would be cut by this hook right here. So, and the nice thing about this blade here, along with the S30V, is you can open it just with one hand. And then over to the S30V, boom. So one hand access, very nice. In case you've got your other hand busy and you need to open it up, you can still do it with one hand. Next we have the super sharp saw. Now this saw, like the other 2 blades, is very sharp and very well made. The teeth are very, very sharp. And I've used this to cut through bamboo, cut through branches when I'm doing some trimming outside. Not for heavy duty stuff, but for small stuff, this does a great job of cutting. And finally on the outside, we have the 2 files. This is the diamond coated file on this side, and I use it mainly just to, do some filing of my fingernails. And on the other side, you have the wood and metal file. So very good quality. And on the outside here, we have this. This is a belt clip. I actually don't use this because I love my tool too much to hang it on a belt. I'm afraid that if I do hang it on my belt and it was to be bumped and this thing falls off of my belt, I wouldn't feel it and I would lose it. So I know a lot of guys like to just clip it on their belt. I personally don't do that. So I can just push in on this mechanism here, this hinge, and that will allow me to pull it off. To undo, and it comes out. So this mechanism is important as we go in and look inside at the other tools. This is the locking mechanism here for all these inner tools. So let's open this up. Not a bad looking set of pliers. This is the needle nose pliers here, and you'll notice a set of crimpers next to that. So it's not a full needle nose pliers. Some guys like a little bit more surface area, and so they don't like it. I think it's plenty of surface for the types of jobs that I use this thing on, like twisting wire, etc. So that's the needle nose pliers. You have crimpers in here, and then your normal pliers in here. And this is what the teeth look like on the inside. Needle nose, crimpers, and regular pliers. So I think it's plenty of space for everyday use. It's great. All right, so we have the hardwire cutters here. That's this center circle part here. And then you have the wire cutters there. A very, very solid set of pliers, and I like it a lot. It's great. While it's in this position, I'm going to show you really quickly. It does have a ruler. So you got inches on the top here and centimeters on the bottom. So if you were to measure from here all the way over to the side, you'd have a total of just over 7 inches, and you'd have over 13 centimeters, 14 centimeters. So there is a ruler there. Okay, now on the inside tools here, let's pull these out. First we have a bottle opener, and it's a good bottle opener. As you can see, there's kind of a sharper edge here on this, and down here you have wire stripper. Now I've never had to use this, but it's there in case you did need to use it. So, and inside here is the large bit driver. That's this right here. So let me show you really quickly. I'm going to push this in and so I can close that. Watch what happens when I open up the bit driver here. Snap. Genius. So push that in. That's how it locks. So you got to push this in here to unlock it. And you can take this out and switch it around. From flathead to Phillips. It's a rather narrow head, but it does okay when you are tightening screws. And when you take this out, you can also take this bad boy. If you go ahead and purchase the extra bits, you can take this out and put this in here like so. And you'll see, and it locks it in place there. If you use this type of thing quite often, then it can be very, very helpful. There's also an extension that I don't have in case you needed to screw things or tighten things, and the distance from this here to the bit head is too short. If you need they have an extension and it comes out a couple inches, so that's very, very helpful if you need to get it in a tight space and this body is just too thick for you. So you can look into that as well. So that's the extra bits. I personally haven't used them a lot, but just in case, I always keep it in my pouch. It doesn't really add a lot of extra weight. So I put this here in my pouch behind there. My tool can go in front of it with no problem. So it all fits in there. So let's look over at the other side here. We have on this side a medium screwdriver here, and this is helpful for opening up like cans, paint cans, or milk powder cans, different things. I've used that for opening up canisters. I wouldn't use it for any heavy like pry bar types of jobs. Let's take the other one out here. This next one is a small bit driver, and as you can see there, that's a really tiny flathead screwdriver, and you can use this for like glasses or for toys. Sometimes have these battery compartments where the screws are super tiny, and this comes in handy for that. So you can see the mechanism that holds the screw in there, and now it's locked in place. And now I open it up. Boom. So this is in here. My hands are kind of wet. There we go. So flathead, I can flip it around, and for the bits you just have these two here. You have the flathead and you have the Phillips. So this is a tiny Phillips screwdriver, very, very tiny, super, super tiny, but useful for those tools or glasses. And that's that. So again, push this in. And let's look at the last one. And this is very, very helpful, especially when you're sitting around, you got nothing to do, and you see your clothes are fraying or something. These are spring-loaded scissors. As you can see here, when you push down, it moves this little metal bar here. So, scissors. Very good scissors, but so small you wouldn't want to use it for big jobs, like arts and crafts where you're using scissors. But if you're in a jam and you need the scissors, this is a great pair of scissors. Strong. That's it for all of the inside tools. Let me show you finally here a couple more secrets on this side here. This side here, if you push this lever in, right in here, there's this top notch here. I'm going to use my fingernail and try to pull at this. Look at that. Boom. There's a little hook that you can use if you wanted to hook this onto something. I personally have never used it, but it's there in case you wanted to hook it on something, and you could hook your tool on that hook, like a mini carabiner. So it's a complete hook there. It's there. And again, push in, and then you can hide it in there. And you'll see that this one here has that extra space. That's for pushing this in and putting on the belt clip if you needed it. I like it. That's the Leatherman Charge TTI. Guys, this has been one of the best investments I've made in a long, long time. I mean, I take this thing with me all the time. It's on my hip, on my belt. I wear it every single day, and I use it in all kinds of circumstances. Its strengths, I think, are are the build quality. This thing is rock solid. I think the convenience of just having all of these functions with you at all times is amazing. And the convenience that it provides, it saves me so much time. So these things added up create a wonderful value of a tool. So I highly recommend it. And did I mention it comes with a 25-year warranty? Let me tell you a quick story. I took this thing into the store and I was asking them if they could help me to loosen it up, because I think the pliers here needed a little bit of greasing to kind of loosen them up. They kind of got stiff. I handed the pliers to the lady in the Leatherman shop. She took it, dropped it in a box, and pulled out a brand new one and gave it to me. And I was speechless. I was so shocked that she took my tool, tossed it in a box as if it was nothing, and gave me a brand new one. So if you have sentimental attachment to your original one, then I would go in and ask them to see if they can return the original one to you. But if you don't and you're okay with getting a brand new one, take it into the Leatherman shop and they'll give you a brand new one. Now, your mileage might vary. This was at the Leatherman store in Portland, Oregon, but I was totally blown away. Some other guy came in after me, bringing in his different Leatherman. They did the same thing and gave him a brand new whatever he had. It was like a Wave or something like that. But absolutely amazing, astounding service. No questions asked. It was great. But there are some weaknesses for this multi-tool. It's not perfect. Number one, it's not the only multi-tool on the market. There are lots of competitors. There are multi-tools put out by Leatherman, of course, but also by Swiss Victorinox, also SOG and Columbia River Knife Tool puts out some multi-tools. So it's not the only one. You can check it out and see if you like some of the other ones. Number two, I would say the weight of this thing is a big deterrent, I would think, for a lot of guys. This thing is heavy. If you drop this thing on your foot, you probably break your toe. So it's heavy. It's not for the guy who likes to travel light, and that's why I have this thing on my belt. I would not recommend putting this thing in your pockets, your short pockets. You probably bring your shorts down and you look like an idiot. So this thing is heavy. That's number two. And number three, the price of this thing is pretty steep. Now, I use it every day, so I don't mind. But if you're not going to use this every day, 170, 160 bucks is quite steep for a tool, and that might deter some of you guys from going out and buying it. It is a higher sticker price than other multi-tools out there. So it's not the only one on the market. It is heavy, and the price is higher than other multi-tools out there. So these three things take into consideration. So the question of the hour is this the right multi-tool for you? And I think that depends on a lot of things. Number one, are you someone who wears a belt every day like I do? Or do you carry a bag with you? If you are, then the weight of this is not going to be an issue. It's a perfect multi-tool for you. If you go camping, if you're a construction worker, you work on a farm, or if you like to tinker, this is the perfect multi-tool for all of those things. And sometimes you're in the house and your tools are off in the garage or downstairs in the basement and you just want to get something small done. This can fit the bill. This is a perfect multi-tool in those cases. Now, if you're someone who likes to travel light, then this is not going to be a good choice for you. If cost is an issue, this is on the higher end of multi-tools. So if you don't have 160, 170 bucks, then this is not the multi-tool for you. Yeah, you decide based on what you need. And at the end of the day, this thing was made for everyday carry for small and medium-sized jobs, not the heavy-duty stuff. And this brings me to my number one reason why I think every man should buy a multi-tool and carry it with them every day, and that's to always be ready. As men, it's so important for us to be ready for action, to always be ready to help people, to fix things, to protect the people that we love, people around us, and having a multi-tool can do that. The tools inside this bad boy will help you do so many things. And in the case you run into a psycho on the street, you've got a knife here to protect your family and loved ones. So I definitely recommend every man having a multi-tool and carrying it with you. I have used this tool for almost any type of job under the sun, anything you can imagine, whether that be opening packages, boxes, canisters, bottles, to cutting paper, to cutting my fingernails, to cutting, crimping, and twisting wire, tightening my dog's chain and leash, cutting unsightly hairs out of my nose and on my ear, fixing my daughter's bicycle chain that fell off. I use it to sharpen tools with the file. So I highly recommend the Leatherman Charge TTI, and I think you guys would definitely benefit from having one yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and click on the link in the description area below for a full review with the specs, pictures, and a Leatherman production video. It's pretty awesome, it's pretty manly. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe for more. Leave a comment down below and let me know what's your favorite everyday carry tool. I'm Steven, your brother in the journey, and we'll see you guys next time.